This video is sponsored by the Sinclair's Library Kickstarter for both Pathfinder 2e and D&D 5th edition. The Kickstarter goes live on May 3rd. For more information, click the link at the top of the description. This is going to be a short video, but I am going to try my damnedest to make it at least 8 minutes long for that ad revenue. Howdy! My name is Nonat, and as of late, I've been playing a lot of different systems. D&D 3.5, D&D 5e, and of course, Pathfinder 2e. And I notice a lot of things when I switch from system to system. As a GM, I might notice some things are easier to make up on the spot than others in different systems, and especially as a player, seeing both the classes I play and the classes my friends play in each system, and how different they are, is fascinating. It's been especially helpful for my D&D vs. Pathfinder series, which has been doing fantastic. Thank you all, and expect another one of those very soon. But there's one thing that's been sticking out to me a lot, and I thought it would go away after a few sessions. You know, I joined a 5e campaign at about level 10, and that's a long ways in to join a campaign. And I noticed, my party members had a lot of magic items. They had magic towers, they had magic boats, they had magic everything, really. Anything they needed to do, they pretty much had access to. Now, granted, the campaign was a high fantasy, it was at level 10, and the GM was incredibly generous, but the same question popped up many times. And this is because in our magic tower, there was a shop which the GM said, quote, "If it is in an official book, you can buy it." So of course, that one question always pops up. Hey GM, how much does this cost? Well, that's easy. Let's just take a quick look at the DMG. What are you looking to buy, gemstone or art? I'd like to buy a weapon, like a +2 weapon? Oh, well, it's easy enough. That's a rare item. So it's gonna cost somewhere in the realm of 500 to 5,000 gold. I'm not making this up. That's what the DMG says. I do not understand why there are 10 tables dedicated to the pricing of gems and artwork, and there is one tiny table attributed to the pricing of magic items. Like, obviously I know there couldn't be a table that includes all of them, but general guidelines beyond this would be great. I don't understand why the ranges are so massive, and why they couldn't have just done a table from levels 1 to 20. It's so vague, and every time we have to buy something in our 5e campaign, the GM is like, oh, so it's between 500 and 5,000, what does the item do? And then we have to go over what it does, how it compares to other items, what she previously charged for those other items in that span of 500 to 5,000. It's honestly a nightmare. 5e is an incredibly simple system, and I love it for that. But this is one of the things that is too simplified. The simplification of saying it's within this price range makes it so overly complicated and inconsistent. If you want to buy one rare item, maybe it's 600 gold. Then if you want to buy a different rare item, maybe it's 3,000. There's no real way to say. People like to talk about their favorite aspects of Pathfinder 2e. The 3-action system, the character customization, the archetype system. No. The thing that I love about Pathfinder 2e is that magic items, all of them, have a level and a cost. It doesn't matter what you're looking for, if it's an alchemical item, if it's a magical potion, or if it's a super unique magic weapon, they all have an item level and a cost. And this circumvents so many problems that D&D 5th edition has. If you remember, I mentioned that in our D&D campaign, they had a ton of magic items to solve a plethora of problems, number one being travel. Well, this is because some of these powerful items might just be listed as uncommon or rare, giving them a low gold price. There's very vague guidelines for uncommon, rare, or very rare being for levels 1, 5, and 11th level characters. But even some of the rare items, if you get them at level 5, you're gonna be so powerful. I'm sure almost everybody has heard the stories of the expanding tower and how you can just throw it at enemies, expand it, and deal, what is it, like 10d6 crushing damage? Oh, my bad, 10d10. And guess what? That's a rare item. It's just rare. So yeah, you could get it for, technically, as low as 500 gold, especially if a GM doesn't know the value of things, and like maybe it's their first campaign or they're just confused, they might not know to charge that higher. So a group of level 5 characters who get that fortress at level 5, of course they're gonna throw at all of their enemies to deal 10d10 damage every fight. This is just something that has bugged me a lot in 5th edition. Overall, I think 5e is a fine system and I do enjoy it, but every time magic items come up, even a +1 weapon, I'm running a one-shot next week and one of my players asked, how much do you charge for a +1 weapon? And I'm like, why isn't that in the book? In Pathfinder 2e, you go +1 weapon, oh, let me open the core rulebook, there it is. Whatever, 50 gold or something? 35, I was close. So yeah, there's my short little ramble video. I really hate how vague both the pricing and level requirements are on magic items in D&D 5e. Because just as a little extra ramble here at the end, there doesn't seem to be a power consistency among these items either. There are uncommon items that are stronger than rare, and there are rare items that are stronger than some super rare items, very rare, whatever the category is. So even when you look at the level and pricing requirements, it's still incredibly vague and not consistent across the board. And I think that's my biggest issue, is the consistency. In a game like D&D or Pathfinder, consistency is key wherever you can find it. There's already so many random chances that giving a rough average is fine, but giving a wide berth of possibility, like 500 to 5,000, is not helpful. Like in Pathfinder 2e, I love to hike or lower prices of things depending on who the players are buying from. Are they buying items from a pirate town who steals and up prices all their merchandise? Sure, I'll increase the price by 10-20%. And rather than saying, oh, what would it normally be? I can just look at the item. Oh, it would normally be 35 gold? I'm gonna charge them 50. And then I'll let them roll society to see if they realize they're getting, what's the word? Cheated. Or if they're buying an item from someone they just did a quest for, they're really good friends, they've proven they're loyal, maybe I'll reduce the price from 35 to 30 or something going forward. It's another really good way to reward your players. But in D&D 5e, there's not really a tangible way to do that. Sure, you can do the same thing and say, oh, you did a quest for this guy, he's gonna give you a 10% discount on all these items. But when the items don't have a set price and you have to come up with it on the spot, all you can really do is say, I guess it's 700, so I guess he takes 70 off for 10%, doing 630. And that's fine for some people. You know, a lot of people are fine with that and just coming up with that on the spot. There's nothing wrong with it, but from a GM perspective, I really like the consistency and the level requirements of the pricing and level requirements and the repetition of those two words. Cut this out. I think Pathfinder going the extra mile to put a price and a level requirement on every magic item in the game is incredibly helpful and is not talked about enough. What is that, 12 minutes of raw footage? Cool, we're good. Thank you to my patrons for helping me out. This video, hopefully you found it interesting. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. If you want to join the patrons on this list, click the link down in the description, take you to the No Not One's Patreon page to help support me. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check out the Sinclair's Library Kickstarter using the link at the top of the description. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And until next time. Seriously, why are there 10 tables for artwork and gems?